everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Woki, and I'm back with another Fake Grand Order video, and today we're going to be talking about the 24 million download campaign, because they just announced it. So that's going to be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It does help out the channel a whole bunch, and let me know what you're looking forward to the most. I'm going to assume for most people it's just being able to summon on Melusine, but hey, if it's something different, feel free to let me know. I will gladly read whatever you put down, what you're looking forward to. And let's begin. So, the campaign starts on the 6th and it goes into the 20th, and just like on JP, they've got a bunch of campaigns to go with it, and they're going to be the following. First, we'll talk about the login bonus, which just like the campaign starts on the 6th and goes to the 20th. You have to have cleared Fuyuki if you want to get this login bonus, so make sure you clear Fuyuki. It should be easy enough, but if you're wondering why you don't have it, it's for some reason you didn't clear Fuyuki, but now you know. You log in over 10 days, you'll get a bunch of stuff. The things you'll get in total are 10 silver apples, 10 golden apples, 10 million QP, 200 mana prisms, 25 EXP, 10 silver foes for HP and attack, a golden foe for HP and attack, 1 rare mana prism, 1 lore, and at the final day, it is going to be 30 sync words. So make sure you log in and get everything here. You can see here that they distributed a little bit differently, because some days have more, like the golden foes and the silver foes are next to each other, but the 5 EXP also comes with 100 mana prisms, but then on 4th day it's just them alone. I don't know why they did it this way. It's very bizarre, but whatever, they wanted to do it this way. I feel like it would just been better to put the mana prisms together, just say here's 200, but I don't know how these devs' mind work anyway, so let's continue on. Next, for a limited time, there's going to be things added to the Exchange Mana Prism Da Vinci shop. And the following items are going to be added. Is going to be a Beast Footprint, 3 quick Arts and Buster Code Openers, 5 Summoning Tickets, 10 5 EXP that come in a set of 10, so 100 total, 10 4 EXP that comes in a set of 10, so also 100 total, 1 HP golden foe, 1 attack golden foe, 20 HP silver foes, and 20 attack silver foes. And these are going to just be added to the shop along with whatever's already usually in the Da Vinci shop. And this will go from the 6th to the 20th. And then the next one is going to be some stuff added to the Exchange Rare Prism shop. So if you want to use that version of the Da Vinci shop where you exchange rare mana prisms instead of the regular ones, you can do so. The thing added to this version of the shop are 3 Beast Footprints, 3 Code Removers, 1 HP Golden Foe, 1 Attack Golden Foe, and then a 5 stack of 20,000 friend points. So if you buy all of them, it's going to be 100,000 friend points in total. Then next, this is also going to be added to the Exchange Rare Prism. So if you missed out on To the Beyond Bereft of the Snowy Blossom, then you can exchange it for a rare mana prism and unlock it, so that you can then spend 1,000 prisms to get it fully down out. But this is also going to be permanently here. Furthermore, the Beyond Bereft and Snowy Blossom can be exchanged for free after clearing a certain chapter of the main story. So after you've cleared Part 2, Lost Belt 1, then this will just be able to exchange. And if assuming that you gave them a rare mana prism early, you'll get that one back after you've cleared Lost Belt number 1. So simple enough. Permanently added are 7 event limited craft essences from past events added to the new Remember Me Essence shop. So we'll talk about the shop a little bit more because that's one of the very few new updates. But the following CEs are going to be added so that you can exchange for them. It costs 1,000 mana prisms for 1 copy, so 5,000 by the end of it. So you can get the following: Holy Night Supper, the classic 3 Great Heroes, the Wandering Tales of Shana'o, His Rightful Place, Maiden Leading Chaldea, Threefold Barrier, and the Star of Altria, or I guess Star of Artoria, which is... oh, sorry, I didn't mean to accidentally hurt... I know some people feel very strongly about when that word is said, but it doesn't really matter to me. But in case you cared, I will go back and right my wrongs on that one. But anyway, those will be able to be exchanged, so that's pretty cool. And then there's going to be 24 million download rewards added to the daily missions, so just make sure to complete all your daily missions so you can get a Beast Footprint, and that will be here for all the time that this is lasting. So make sure to just do your dailies. They really want you to just kind of play the game. Please just play the game. Ember Gathering will be unlocked for all days, and AP costs will be halved, so self-explanatory on that. 2 times chance of super and great suck for servants and CE enhancements, so that's going to be very nice if you're looking to level up your servants. Make sure to take advantage of it, especially craft essences. I'm not someone who usually goes for craft essence enhancement because it drives me crazy. I only ever had one level 100 craft essence, and I was fine with that. But if you're someone who's going for it, you should take the time to do this while there is double EXP for it. Double chance of super and great suck, that is. And that will again last from the 6th to the 20th. Support servant joining Ember Gathering, you can use Melusine for a limited time in those, and again, 6th to the 20th. A new feature is being added to the update, which is going to be a way to just easily get those craft essences previously mentioned that were from old events. It will be called the Remember Essence Shop. So you just go in there if you want to get any of these, and it's just easier to exchange than actually just going into the shop and going to go look for them there. It's pretty easy to just go here. It's a nice little update. Very nice. And that is unfortunately the only update. The other update that came with this we already have, so they didn't feel the need to put in another quality of life a little bit early, but, you know, it's fine. And those are all the basic things coming for the downloads campaign, and now we're here to talk about the true meat and potatoes, which is the Melusine and Barghest banner. Or just the Melusine banner. I like to mention Barghest because that's my girl. If I was going to summon on this, it would not be to get more copies of my Melusine, who is NP2. It would be get more copies of my Barghest, who is also NP2. Annoyingly so. I really wish I had gotten more copies of her, but I did not. But anyway, 2 servants will be included, the limited time servant Melusine, and along with her limited time craft essence. Also Barghest, who is story locked. So those are, Holy Heart is the name of this limited craft essence. And this will be here from... Oh, also the early release of permanent craft essences. These are not on rate up, they're just adding them into the game, which is the Blank Man, Natural Predator, and Misty Scene. This will last until... There's no graph here, because I should just look up. It should be pretty obvious it's going to be here on the 6th, and it's going to go to the 20th. Should have figured that out. And now give me a sec, because we are going to do a small edit as I go to the wiki to better talk about these characters. So give me a sec. Edit in 3, 2, 1. And after a quick edit, here we are. So yeah, we're going to be talking about both these units, because I love my girl Barghest, and of course I also love Melusine, but we're going to talk about both. Starting with Barghest. She, as like I said, is a story lock servant. She is a saber. She has 1 quick, 1 arts, and 3 busters. She has 5 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 2 hits on buster, and 5 hits on extra. Her active skills are... Numeral of the Saint B increases own attack by 18% for 3 turns. Increases own buster performance on the Sunlight battlefield for 3 turns. When you're on the Sunlight battlefield, the buster up is 28%, and then this is on a cooldown of 5. Her second skill is the Wild Rule A, increases own buster performance for 3 turns, grants self the Survival of the Fittest buff for 3 turns. Survival of the Fittest recovers own HP by 1000 when normal attacking, removes 1 latest buff from an enemy when normal attacking, and successfully remove the buff 500% chance to reduce their defense by 10% for 3 turns. The buster increases 30%, and this is on a cooldown of 6. Her third skill is the Foul Weather A, reduces party's damage taken for 3 attacks 3 turns, grants self a regeneration buff for 3 turns, charges the party's NP gauge every turn for 3 turns. The damage taken, the less damage taken is 1000, and the NP increase is 15%. This is on a cooldown of 7. Her passive skills are Magic Resistance C and Madness Enhancement A+. Her third skill is an anti-alter ego attack damage aptitude. Her noble phantasm is the Black Dog Galatane, the Horn of the Devouring Sun. Rank A anti-army, hits 5 times its buster, deals damage to all enemies, increases own max HP by 3000 for 5 turns, and then reduces own skill cooldowns by 1. At MP level 1, it's 300%, and if you get it all the way to MP level 5, it's 500%. And then the overcharge effect is an increase to own buster performance for a single turn. It activates first. At charge level 1, it's 20%. And if you get it all the way to the final charge level, it's 40%. And her Bond CE is the Stomach Destroyer. When equipped to Barghest, increases own MP damage by 30%, grants self the buff on attack buff, a 30% chance to increase own HP by 5000 for 3 turns when normal attacking. And that is Barghest. How is Barghest? Well, I actually really like Barghest. Obviously, just to get the really obvious negative out of the way, She cannot do a traditional Buster loop because she does not have a way to give herself 30% NP gauge. She has a way to give herself eventually 15%, but that is not needed. If you don't know how a Buster loop kind of works, a traditional bread and butter, this is easy. If you want to have the easiest time possible, you should be able to do this minimum. You have to have a 30% charger, and then you use them with a Koyanskaya, 2 Koyanskayas and an Oberon. The 2 Koyanskayas will make it so that on the third turn, you'll have your 30% charger, and then you with Oberon combined can get 100% NP and you're able to loop with a Buster. If you don't have that, then it makes it very difficult. It doesn't need to always be that you get 30% from the skill itself. Sometimes you can get 20% from it, but then your NP gives you back 10%, and that will fulfill the conditions of at least getting 30% NP when you come to turn 3, basically. But the issue here is obviously she can't do that. So she's not really fit for looping, and that kind of super sucks for being a AoE unit, because that's really what a lot of AoE units end up being used for. But what I will say is that she is really good if you're looking to hunker down and be like in a challenging type of fight scenario. Unfortunately, her best type of event is actually the Grail Front that we just did, and we're not getting any of those and for the foreseeable future for a while. On JP, they have not done another Grail Front. Maybe they'll do one as of this recording eventually. Who knows? Hopefully, because that would mean there's another great event for Barghest. Literally, when I used her for the Grail Front, it felt like a cheat mode because I could just do whatever and I never had to worry about anything because she was able to get back so much HP. She had really good attack going in there. She was able to survive. She provides everything you need for that. I still think she can be used very well in challenging quests, and I have used her in the past in those type of challenging fights because the third skill is really, really nice when you have the ability to give it to the entire party. Some other, I guess, quick negatives that I'll say. Also, this skill when you're literally by yourself is also really key. Being able to recover your own HP is just absolutely crazy. It's made it so that I've been able to literally solo entire Grail Fronts with her because she just kind of goes in there and she gets her stuff done. The enemies hit her, sure, but then she just heals it all back. And then thanks to her Noble Phantasm, she can reduce the skill cooldowns by 1. And that makes it so she gets it back even sooner. So it is very nice. Another negative, though, that I have to mention is the fact that to get the full range of the Buster performance here, you do have to be on the Sunlight Battlefield. So you are going to be missing out on 28%. If you can find a way to force the Sunlight Battlefield, which you can use with the other Gawain that she is based off of, then that's one way of doing it. But if she's by herself and the sun ain't out, then unfortunately you are not getting the full benefit of it, which is a bit of a bummer. But, you know, there are ways to work with her. I really do like her. If I would ever have, as a personal Barghest fan who was hoping to get a single Barghest to be their grand, but I got fucked over on multiple banners and only ever got 2 copies of Barghest, both summer and regular. I'm losing the thread here. What am I talking about? The one buff I would like it if she was able to loop of some kind. That would be very nice. I don't think it's too out of the box to say like, hey, it would be really nice if you found a way to give her also a starting 30% charger somewhere. I don't think that's too out of the question. But otherwise, you can still find plenty of uses for her, and if you'd like the character, you can find them. And usually, she's on banners with characters that are fan favorites, or, for example, Morgan or Melusine, so you end up picking her up regardless if you're going for her specifically. Funny enough, I think it's easier for you to get Barghest if you're not specifically going for Barghest. At least in my fucking experience, as someone who has been able to get MP2 Melusine and an MP2 Barghest. My Barghest should be way... I'm gonna lose this. I'm gonna lose myself. Anyway, that's how I feel about Barghest. I really do like her. There are obvious some things I could improve in her, but I think overall, I still think she's solid, and in general, she's a cutie patootie. Who doesn't like this? Look at this gigantic armor. Fantastic. I think the only thing negative I could say about this art is I think she could probably use a little bit more muscle. There's nothing negative. I'm afraid of closing it in further, because I'm going to get demonetized in some kind of way. But anyway, speaking of demonetized, let's talk about Melusine. You're only going to be seeing this first form from me ever. Can't show that other form. YouTube would immediately smack me down. Anyway, Melusine is a limited Lancer. She has 1 quick, 2 arts, 2 buster, 4 hits on quick, 3 hits on arts, 3 hits on buster, 5 hits on extra. Her first skill, which is her first skill is Dragonheart. I don't know why I was failing myself so hard on that one. Dragonheart B increases own attack for 3 turns, reduces own damage taken by 5,000 for 3 turns, increases own max HP for 3 turns, then charges own NP gauge, 40% to attack, 2,000 max HP, 30% to NP, and cooldown of 6. Her second skill is the Parry Dancer B. Hold me closer, Parry Dancer. Increases own critical star absorption for 3 turns, and then gains crit stars for 3 turns, and then also just gains crit stars. So it's 5,000 to absorption, 10 star regen, and then 10 stars when you use it on a cooldown of 5. Her third skill is the Ray Horizon A. A 500% chance to transform self into stage 3, charges own NP gauge, and then grants self invincibility for 1 turn. The note here, which is going to be important, if you use the skill to transform, it is stuck to Ascension Stage 3 until the battle ends. However, if your party is wiped and you revive, them using command spells, Saint Quartz, or Spirit Vein Stones, it resets back to the Ascension Stage 1 to 2. It's 100% to your NP, and this is on a cooldown of 5. And then when this is at stage 3 and you get to use it again, it increases your own NP damage for 3 turns, and then grants your invincibility for 1 turn, so you lose out on the NP charger. But the NP damage increase is 30%. Her passive skills are Magic Resistance B and Territory Creation B+. Her pen skill is an Anti-Lancer attack damage aptitude, because trust no one, not even yourself. And her Noble Phantasm is the Innocence Arendite, the Not Known Innocent Light of the Lake. Rank A anti-unit, hits 5 times, it's arts. It deals damage to 1 enemy, increases their damage taken by 1,000 for 5 turns, and then gain 10 crit stars. At MP level 1, it's 900%, and if you get her all the way to MP level 5, it's 1,500. The overcharge effect is an increased own MP generation rate for 3 turns. This activates first. At charge level 1, it's 20%, and if you get her all the way to the final charge level, it is 40%. And then when you go into stage 3, the Noble Phantasm changes to the Hollow Heart Albion. Known by no one, Innocent Heartbeat. Rank EX, Anti-World, hits 5 times. Grant Self Ignore Invincibility for 1 turn, activates first, deals damage to all enemies, inflict a burn with 1,000 damage for 5 turns to them. At MP level 1, it's 300%, and if you get her all the way to MP level 5, it's 500%. Overcharge effects is an increased own Buster Performance for 3 turns, activates first. At charge level 1, it's 20%, and if you get all the way to the final charge level, it's 60%. She does have a couple costumes here, which you can get. So she wears her little visor in her first ascension or second ascension, and then she can turn into a red dragon version of the final ascension. And her Bond CE is the Aurora. When equipped to Melusine, increases party's arts performance by 10% and the party's Buster performance by 10% while she is on the field. And that is Melusine. So how is Melusine? Melusine's amazing! Yeah, almost everyone knows that at this point. There's not much for me to say that you don't already know, but if you don't know why Melusine's amazing, I can give you a couple reasons. There's a lot, but I can give you the very base reasons why. So as far as the looper goes, the reason she's so great, one of the reasons she's so great is that this NP gives her 100% NP gauge. This third skill gives her 100% NP gauge, excuse me. Which means that she can be used with the Black Grail, and the Black Grail can give you a lot of power. It also means that she's going to be dealing so much damage that she's able to kill things that typically a Lancer would not be able to kill. I can say from my experience at her at MP2, yeah, when I use her for looping, she kills things, even when she has this advantage. Only the very, very high HP thresholds of like plus stuff, she has a little bit of trouble, I guess, for me at that point, when they're at disadvantage. But when it's type neutral or she even has advantage over them, I've never had any issues with it. So she's amazing for that. She's very easy to loop with because, of course, this first skill gives 6, cooldown of 6, so you're able to get that pretty easy off the bat. And when this does come around, you get a little bit more damage, which is really nice. You can use her as a single target unit because she actually does really good, solid single target damage as a Lancer. The only thing that's a negative is that it means that you can't use this third skill until you're sure that the fight is over, because she's arts in this one and then Buster when she uses it. So if you're using her with a full arts team, that means that she won't be able to get the benefit of Castoria's 50% after she changes, but it's okay. She gets a little bit bonus things from using her as an arts unit here, with her overcharge effect giving her more MP generation rate the more she keeps spamming with her Noble Phantasm, which is pretty nice. Even gives you some more crit stars, which is something that arts can sometimes lack unless they are using Proto Merlin. Or I should say Lady Avalon, excuse me, who's Proto Merlin. which is really cool, which is really nice. So she can be used that way. Obviously, if you want a more dedicated single target Lancer, then you should probably go find one that can use all their skills at all available times. But if you're in a pinch and you're someone who's like a little bit more free-to-play minded and you're like, listen, I would really like it if I didn't need to go for another Lancer unless I really badly wanted them, then Melusine's probably good for you right there. Yeah, just a lot about her is absolutely amazing. Her kit is designed in such a way so that she can be used for looping and for harder fights when it needed. Like this second skill obviously is a 100%. It does nothing for looping, but it can really help when you're in a fight, a challenging fight where you're using the first single one. This one can kind of come in and bring in a lot of good stuff like star regen, a quick star bomb and stuff like that. And give her all the absorption so she makes sure to absorb all the crit stars as well. Being able to reduce your own damage taken is also a nice little bonus, along with being able to increase your max HP. So very cool. Very awesome unit all around, worth owning, worth having. I have her at MP2, and I've been very happy with it. I've not tried to chase more copies of it. If I did want more copies, this banner would be perfect for me. But I would somehow, in my mind, say I'll wait for another Barghest banner, which hopefully maybe comes down later down the line that has a unit that maybe I'm missing or something. That's the only, like, the scenarios in my mind in which you would not summon for Melusine are ones like that. Like, it's so specific to you, and that's the reason why. So I guess I can now talk about, should you summon on Melusine? I think if you're a brand new player, this is a really good unit to pick up. I've had a couple of people ask me, hey, her or Arjuna Alter, which one do you go for? And I think it really does come down to kind of personal preference types. If you're someone who likes more the Berserker style of like me smash, then you use Arjuna Alter and that's no problem. If you're someone who's a little bit more like, you know what, not only would I want a really solid single AoE buster unit, but I also would like one for the single target aspect, just because I'm someone who is waiting to build up for more things, and I guess Melusine works for that. Obviously Arjuna Alter can also be used in Challenge Quest and not care about anything because he's Arjuna Alter. But it really does, I guess, at the end of the day, come down to personal preference. And thankfully for a lot of people, Melusine is a fan favorite. Her in Lost Belt 6, almost all the Lost Belt 6 units are fan favorites because the writing in that game was, for that chapter, was just so fucking amazing that it makes you love the character so much. I've actually seen Melusine people be angry that she hasn't been used in the story all that often because of how much they like her in Lost Belt 6, which is understandable because she has a really good arc in that one, so I think it's worth going for. If you're chasing for meta, then this is an obvious call. If you're in need of a Lancer, then she's your Lancer to go for. She's a really good one, especially if you're looking for a Buster AoE Lancer. She's a good one to go for sure. And the best one probably in my opinion, and she's the only one I use. If you want to know how it is with a lot of the other Lancers I use, once I got her in MP2, I almost didn't use any of my other Lancers unless I feel like using them, or they have a bonus, like in the case of Ryoma and Oryu. I remembered Oryu's name, but for some reason I was blanking on Ryoma, but I finally remembered. Anyway, unless you want to use them or they have a bonus of some kind, that's how strong Melusine kind of can be. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth going for. You just have to look in yourself and see, like, hey, should I go for them? And the answer is if you're free to play and you need a really strong Lancer, she's a good pickup for that. If you're waiting for someone in the future, or you're like me who's like, I'm kind of happy at NP2 and I don't need more copies, then obviously don't summon. If there's a unit that you really care about in the future, like for example, you're saving to make sure you have a guaranteed pity on the Raiko that's coming with the Samurai event, then obviously you should keep summoning. I obviously think that Melusine is the better unit, but if you care about one unit more than the other one, then you should go for a unit that way. The meta is very nice in FGO, where yeah, you can have really powerful units, but there's a lot of units that can help you beat the game without being like crazy strong broken. Like there's plenty of units outside of Melusine that you can still do effective work with. It just kind of depends on you being the better player at that point. It's very easy. When it's a PvE game, things are much easier. We're not a PvP game, so we don't have to worry about like always chasing the top meta stuff. But in Melusine's case, it's lucky for her that she is both a fan favorite and also an extremely powerful unit, so that works out for everyone. So that's the end of the video, everyone. I wish you all the best of luck of summoning for Melusine. I'm going to assume a lot of people are waiting for it. People were waiting since October to summon for her. I remember when people were going, I can't wait to summon for her in October, and I said, I don't think she's coming in October. She's coming in November. I don't know why you think it's October, but I think it was literally because they were just that excited for her. Which is understandable. I really do like Melusine, so I wish all the best of luck. But that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it may end up being. And as always, if you want to keep supporting the channel, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in a later one. Peace out. Goodbye. Bye-bye.